This is the story of our parents and their vision for a hay house ministry. For Mum and Dad, building a hay house is more than just a dream to build their own straw bale home. It's the dream to use every bit of what they have to serve others. Since 1994, Dad has been a pastor, and together Mum and Dad have ministered in 4 churches across 3 denominations, all in small country towns. Within just 3 years of starting in ministry, Dad burnt out and their ministry came to an abrupt end. Doctors weren't sure whether Dad would be able to return to ministry. Recovery was slow and difficult, and it took a toll on the whole family. However, eventually with God's healing, Dad recovered, and a new dream for ministry was born: to create a place where pastors and missionaries who are at risk of burnout could come to rest, be encouraged and restored. Their vision for a hay house ministry was born. In 2002, Mum and Dad were able to purchase 164 acres of agricultural land near the tiny town of Poppaninning, a couple of hours' drive south of Perth in Western Australia. It took them several years, but they were finally able to transport an old cottage to the property, which they partially renovated, referred to affectionately as the shack. The shack was meant to be a temporary residence, but has become the home they still live in today. Mum and Dad laboured with every ounce of their spare time, energy and personal resources to put farm infrastructure and gardens in place, and were able to establish a small orchard and large organic vegetable area, as well as fencing and sheds. They also continued in ministry at 2 local churches, and Dad worked up to 3 additional jobs like cleaning to raise the funds for their hay house ministry. In late 2009, our grandmother Roma lost her battle with cancer, just a few years after her husband Bruce lost his own. This was a devastating time for the entire family, especially Mum and Dad, who cared for both of our grandparents until the end, and feel the loss of both of Mum's parents very deeply. But through this tragedy, a gift was received, an inheritance, which meant work on the hay house could begin. The home itself is large and designed for communal living, but with ample areas for quiet contemplation. Mum and Dad's vision is for it to be a place of sharing, and even while incomplete, it's already brought people together and touched so many lives. Mum and Dad are hands-on builders and have painstakingly built the entire home by hand, except for the tasks which required tradesmen by law or unique skill they didn't possess. Together, they've built the frame, laid the straw bale, made wooden jarrah windows with glaze, and finally began rendering the walls. The journey has not been without challenges, which have threatened to derail their dream. In 2015, Dad fell from a ladder and suffered a serious head injury which threatened his life. At the time, doctors were unsure whether he would ever regain the ability to speak, walk, or read. Dad spent an entire long year in recovery, unable to work, and building all but stopped on the hay house, until friends and family blessed us with the gift of their labour to finish cladding the roof of the hay house before winter destroyed the wood. Once again, God blessed our family, and we are so grateful to say Dad recovered, and his healing is considered miraculous. Work was able to resume on the hay house, and 6 years from the beginning in 2020, the finish line was finally in sight. The house was almost complete. What we could not foresee was the new challenge that lay ahead. After nearly 6 months of struggling with inexplainable ill health, Mum has been diagnosed with stage 4A ovarian cancer. Unless God intervenes, she is not expected to go into remission. Friends and family and brothers and sisters we haven't met yet. We are Joe and Laurie's daughters, and we have put together this GoFundMe to raise the funds needed to finish the hay house and help our parents complete their lifelong work and vision for its ministry. Our dream is for our parents to be able to enjoy the fruit of their labour and see their vision for the hay house ministry come to fruition. The vision to extend hospitality and support to others lives on, and with completion of the straw bale house, and this is why we've come to call the straw bale home, the house that Jesus built. The funds we are praying for will allow work to continue on the hay house while Mum isn't well and Dad cares for her. The funds raised will be used to hire labour from the men of Shalom House and the supplies needed to finish the house, while any remainder will go towards renovations of the shack and to those in need. We have watched our parents give back over the years over and above their means, serve God with all their hearts, and watch them help as many people as they could along the way. We are grateful for your support for their life's work, and thank you for your generous donation from the bottom of our hearts. With thanks, may God bless you and keep you in the palm of his hand. The Church Girls.